it. Right. So yesterday we learned about content modifier. I hope if you got time, you might have practiced it. You might have practiced the simulation as well, where the headers, properties, and Mrs. Body come into picture. And I think that's pretty much about content modifier. There are a few things that I want to tell, but obviously they'll come with time. So when I showed you how to create a property or create a header, there were a few source values associated with them. So even if I'll click here now, if I have to create an exchange property, there are few source values associated with them. We have learned about constant. We have learned about expression. Expressions is nothing but any expression that comes under Apache Camel script. I have told you two, one how to reference a property and one how to reference a header. You can use others as well. We will, in time, we will see at least 2 or 3 more expressions that can be used for headers and properties. Does anyone know what XPath is? Obviously, global variable, local variable, and number range will come in later, but does anyone know what XPath is? Which represents the element which is coming in the import a payload. In the first payload, Eileen, isn't a very particular payload or any payload? The source payload. Yeah, but is the format a very particular one? Okay, I'm going to select the XML. Exactly. That's what the kakao. Yes. It has to be an XML. XPath means it's XML. There is no other format in which XPath will work. But X represents XML in XPath, right? So there is one thing that is called as XPath that you can reference to. Another thing to remember is CI completely works on XPath, XMLs, and everything. So it's very important for you to understand these 3 terms: XML, XPath, and XSG, right? Because whenever you'll be transforming the data, it has to be an XML. You can do some things with the JSON too. That's a possibility there, but 95% of the things are done with the XPath, XML, and XSG. So we'll have to be very, I should say, we have to learn XMLs. We have to beg people about XMLs and XSG. So that will come whenever we'll start using XML. I'll tell you how XPath works. One thing you can know about is you can also use this source type as header and property. So if I'll add something called as header name, no, let me name it as file, just file. I can also get it from a header. Here I just need to give the header name, right? So when I was writing the expression and I have to give it as a property or a header, I have to write the whole expression. Why? Because I need to denote that this is a property or this is a header. But when I select the source type as either header or a property, my content modifier already knows that my source value is header or a property. So in the backend, it already takes this expression. So you only need to give, let's say, just the name of the header. If file size is my name of a header, which is coming from the source or that you have created in the previous content modifiers, you can use that header to create another property, or you can use a property to create another header, or you can use a property to create another property as well, right? So the source type header and property can also be used. It's just that in the source value, you need to give the name of the header or the property. Yeah. So we are very clear about these 4 source types: constant, expression, headers, and properties. XPath will learn probably in today or the next day's class. And number range, local variable, and global variable will be a bit later. Let's say at least 10 classes later. Then we'll learn how good you at this. Yesterday, I asked you guys a question. Did anyone get a chance to look into it that if I define a property here, can I use the same property in this Mrs. Body? Or I have to use another content modifier?